In the city of Cyprus around 300 BC, there was a wealthy trader named Zeno. During a voyage from Phoenicia to Piraeus, his ship sank, and with it went all his cargo. This single event, entirely beyond Zeno's or anyone's control, rendered this very wealthy man poor in an instant. Imagine being Zeno. How would you react to seeing your entire life's work get washed away by the sheer force of nature? What is the appropriate reaction? Would you be angry or sad? Would you feel that life had cheated you? For most of us, these reactions would be normal, but not for Zeno, the father of Stoicism. A small change lasts an eternity, and one slight reframing of your mindset can cascade into larger, more impactful changes down the line. The essence of Stoicism lies in the very definition of acceptance and indifference. After reading the works of Socrates and other great philosophers, Zeno developed and taught Stoicism. According to Zeno, although we don't have much control over what happens to us, we do have control over how it affects us, and we must use this control to great effect. Instead of crying over spilled milk, or in this case, drowned goods, Zeno chose to maintain his composure, remaining calm and neutral despite his predicament. Today, people often view Stoics as unbreakable individuals who don't dwell in emotional extremes like fits of rage or bouts of anxiety. However, the original idea behind Stoicism was much more profound than that. It was not just a way to describe unemotional people. It was a way to view, describe, and understand the world. It was a way of life, and this way of life has endured for centuries. The principles of Stoicism can be applied to situations today just as they were thousands of years ago, with equally impactful benefits. Stoicism allows us to process negative emotions from adverse experiences and transform them into thoughts that offer a unique perspective on the world. Perspective is everything, and since everyone has different experiences, we all have different perspectives on things. The Stoics gathered, discussed, and taught philosophy in public places, making their general philosophy widely known. They believed that Stoic principles could greatly benefit anyone and everyone, and so it made no sense to hide that knowledge behind the four walls of a school or the palace courtyards. As a result, everyone from slaves to emperors could learn and become Stoics, and many did. Some of the world's most notable Stoics include Epictetus, whose name translates to acquired, as he was once a slave, Seneca, a renowned statesman, and Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and one of the most powerful men to have ever lived. The early Stoics practiced what they preached, avoiding all forms of segregation and leading the fight against inequality. They even coined the term cosmopolitan, which means citizen of the world. When people hear that word now, we think of diverse cities like New York, Toronto, Dubai, and London. This was the type of unity and togetherness the Stoics promoted. Even at a time when it wasn't popular, women were allowed to freely learn about Stoicism and become Stoics themselves. Why do so many people adopt Stoicism as a way of life today? In a world full of unexpected turns of events, our emotions can often get in the way. In reality, we don't get sad simply because bad things happen to us. We get sad because unexpected bad things happen to us. Rain is beneficial. It waters our plants, provides water for livestock, and keeps the temperature cool and humid. But when a dark cloud catches you outside without an umbrella, it's never a good experience. So why don't we start crying when it rains? It's because, although the situation is bad, we've learned to expect rain. It's something unavoidable. We can't control the weather. Although it's unpleasant, the rain passes and the light returns. Stoicism teaches us that, in the same way, we should expect that everything bad that can happen will happen. Imagine the worst outcome and be content knowing it could happen. One Stoic exercise known as voluntary discomfort aims to increase feelings of gratitude. Sleep on your kitchen floor, take cold showers instead of hot ones, eat nothing but potatoes for a few days, things like this. This exercise helps you understand that no matter how hard it gets, you'll still survive and potentially thrive if your mindset is right. By enduring these uncomfortable situations, we indirectly prepare our minds for future misfortunes. With the current state of the world, where advertisements are constantly shoved down our throats, we're made to believe that if we don't have the next best thing, look a certain way, or make a certain amount of money, we will never be happy. This message is more important now than ever. We enter the world knowing very little. We grow up being taught things at home, in school, and by observing the world for ourselves. The thing is, often, all three of these sources of knowledge teach us in different ways. The question is, do we need to internalize all of this knowledge? If we do, we might unknowingly set unrealistic expectations for our lives. leaving us ultimately disappointed and unsatisfied. That's no way to live. We should instead focus on improving ourselves for our own sake. We should do things for ourselves and only for that reason. Attaching any external hope or secondary attachments to our actions almost always leads to disappointment. Often, we try to fill that emptiness with external things, blowing all our money on a fancy car, a house, or even starting a family. Sometimes we do these things for their external value, not their internal value. Stoicism teaches that if you approach life this way, you place your happiness in the hands of external forces, forces that can always fail. Cars almost always break down, natural disasters wipe away entire cities, and divorce rates climb higher each year. But even the free things in life come at a cost, the cost of space, both physical and mental. As Seneca once wrote, learning to live with less creates space in your life for the things that truly matter to you. We must place our happiness on our intrinsic value as humans, not on what we have or can acquire physically. We must choose to keep a cool head, regardless of what life throws at us, because, at the end of the day, while we don't have control over the majority of things that happen to us, we do have control over how we react to those things. That is the dichotomy of control, the most important principle in Stoic philosophy, to teach that we must learn to separate what we can control from what we cannot. We need to determine our value not from things we can't control, but from the things we can. Striving towards goals is a good trait, but breaking down when things don't go your way is, in a Stoic's point of view, useless. Making YouTube videos is, well, a lot easier than being a Roman emperor, but it can still prove challenging. First, you must form your idea, which takes forever. Then research that idea. Scrap it because it sucks. Start over. Script the video. Create the video. Edit it. Make the title, thumbnail, and everything else before you hit upload. Everything up until the point where you click upload is all up to you. However, once you click that upload button, the power shifts to the YouTube algorithm. Still, many people judge the success of their YouTube channel or Instagram account based on how many views and subscribers or followers they have, metrics which, for the most part, are beyond your control. Stoics teach that instead, you should judge the success of your work based on the amount of effort you put in, and not on the outcome of your external hopes. Trust the process. Think about a person who has been working hard at their job for the past 6 months. He now feels he deserves a promotion, so he approaches his boss with his performance report. The boss says thanks, doesn't grant him the promotion, and he goes home thinking he must be terrible at his job. He doesn't consider that the boss might have simply woken up angry, that someone else might have been better qualified at the time, or that the company was just losing money and couldn't afford it. He doesn't know the reason, but he's still upset. He could have been much happier if he simply placed his value on the quality of the performance report he turned in and kept doing what he was doing to earn the promotion he wanted. With the right perspective, his goal wouldn't have been diminished, just postponed. This reframing of your mindset is crucial. A true Stoic does not view their successes based on financial gain but finds comfort in the fact that they can live a comfortable life without all the things money can buy. These are the 4 main virtues of Stoicism: wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. Stoicism is the ability to separate between what is internal and what is external, and to choose our reaction to the things that happen to us. As Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space is our power to choose our response. Courage involves 2 words, persist and resist. Temperance or moderation is what I just did there. Doing more with less, saying more with fewer words. While Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are vying for the top of the Forbes list, Stoics believe that the limit of wealth should simply be having what is essential and what is enough. Justice is the most important of all the virtues. It instructs that no one should harm another because we were all born for each other, to do good to one another, and not to ourselves. While he was fighting, Stoicism guides us through past and present tempests towards calmer and more tranquil waters. And if our ship should sink and we all perish, we can find solace in having lived a good life. Please subscribe to my channel for more content and leave a like.